everyone, so welcome to our video on dimensional analysis, and this is on pages 27 through 29 of our textbook. So we're to first talk about conversion factors and then do a few examples on dimensional analysis. So these are some common units and their equivalents, so pretty much how many are going from the metric system to the English system. So conversion factors are going to be any fractions, and I know some of you guys are afraid of fractions, it's okay, but pretty much any equivalent. So let's take a look at this first one. We have kilometers, so 1 kilometer is equal to 0.6214 miles. So pretty much to write it out as a fraction, I'd write out 1 kilometer over 0.6214 miles. That's also equivalent to 6214 miles over 1 kilometer. So when I ask you to write out conversion factors, I'm just asking you to do these two fractions, and that's it. You need to make sure that we look at units, and actually we'll talk about that here. So we're going to use those conversion factors to convert between the units. We want to create some sort of plan to help us out with that, and we have to label all of the units. Dimensional analysis is predicated on the fact that you're canceling units, so you need to make sure you put those units in there. I will be a stickler on this as well. Alright, so here's our first example. So we want to know how many kilograms is equal to 100 pounds. So we can take a look down here. We know kilograms and pounds is all dealing with mass, so we want to make sure you look at this section right here. And in fact, we have a direct conversion between kilograms and pounds. It's right there. So our conceptual plan is just going from 100 pounds to some unknown amount of kilograms. Okay? And we're going to use that fraction to help us out. So we know that the conversion factor will be 1 kilogram over 2.205 pounds, or it's 2.205 pounds over 1 kilogram. So let's go ahead and start out. We have 100 pounds, so we're going to start out with that number. Always start with what you're given. So it's 100 pounds, but to put that over 1, I know that makes it a lot easier for some of you guys when you're looking at fractions. My whole goal is to get out of pounds and into kilograms, so I want to be able to cancel out pounds. You have to figure out which one of these two that you're going to use to cancel out pounds. Now, since pounds is in the numerator for a first number, you want to find pounds in the denominator of the second one to cancel it out, and that's when we're going to use this guy right here. Okay? So we have 1 kilogram over 2.205 pounds. I'm going to make sure my numbers are still good to go. Yep. I'm going to cancel out the pounds. I'm just left with kilograms, so that's what my answer is going to be. So to plug this into your calculator, it's just 100 divided by 2.205, and that gives you 45.4 kilograms. And put a box around it. So if you're ever asked what your weight is, always put in kilograms because it sounds a lot less. Alright, so another example. We want to figure out how many centimeters are in 4 yards. So we know that we're dealing with length here. We're going to deal with this section right here. There is not one direct conversion between centimeters and yards, so we have to, this is where our conceptual plan really comes into play here. We have to be able to go from yards to centimeters. So let's take a look. Yards is right here. We've got centimeters here and here. So let's take a look. Which one would be easier? If I have yards here, I know it's equal 1.094 yards is equal to 39.37 inches. And then I've got inches again down here. So I'm going to use these guys to help us out. So my plan is to go from yards to inches to centimeters. And that's the plan here. So we're going to start out by doing the conversion factors. I know that I have 1.094 yards is equal to 39.37 inches. You don't know which one you're going to use, or you have to know which one you're going to use, either the yards on top or the yards on bottom. To help you out with that, let's go ahead and start putting down our number. We are starting with 4 yards. That's what's given to us. Always start with what's given to you. So it's 4 yards. I'm going to put that over 1. Now to figure out, am I going to put yards or inches on the bottom? Since I want to cancel out the yards, I want to make sure yards are on the bottom. So I have 1.094 yards. And remember, I'm getting that 1.094 right here from that table. So that's the yards, and that's equal to 39.37 inches. So now I can cancel out yards, and let's keep going. Many of you guys want to go ahead and put the equal sign, and then do it again. That's way too much work. Don't do that much work. So here, I'm inches right now. I want to get over centimeters. So this is my, I'll use a different pen. That's my equivalency that I want to use. Remember, I want to cancel out inches, so I'm going to put inches on the bottom. And in fact, I have 1 inch is equivalent to 2.54 centimeters. So I'll cancel out inches, and I'm left with the unit that I want. That's good. That's what I'm planning on have. So to put this into your calculator, 4 times 39.37 times 2.54. Press the equal sign. Make sure you do that. And then divide by, because don't forget your fraction's a division sign, divide by 1.094 in order to get your number. So you should have, and this is where you might get like a really, some people say it's a large number, it's like 365 point something. That's not large. Because you have a lot of digits, it might seem like it's a large number, but again, you have a lot of digits. It's not that it's a big number. I'm going to tell you later on how to round, but for right now, go with it. It's 366 centimeters. Always put a box around your final answer because I'm getting old and I don't want to have to look for work, or look for your answer. All right, example number 3. How many minutes are in a year? And if you've ever seen Rent, you probably know this offhand, but let's go ahead and prove it. So we don't have any equivalencies here, but I do know that if I'm starting it with a year, so 1 year is equal to 365 days. 1 day is equal to 24 hours, and 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. Those are essentially the equivalencies that I want to look for. So to start out, 1 year, instead a year, so put that over 1. Now, again, you want to cancel out years, so I'm going to put that on the bottom, so it's 365 days over 1 year. Cancel out the years. And then we have 24 hours over 1 day, cancel out the days, and 60 minutes over 1 hour, and cancel out the hours. So to put this in your calculator, don't bother even putting in the ones. So go ahead and put in 365 times 24 times 60. And since we're dividing by 1, it's going to be the same thing anyway. So let's make sure that song is right. 525,600 minutes. And again, put a box around your answer. Good. Alright, so this last little example. The drive from Plattsburgh to Albany is 153 miles and the speed limit is 65 miles per hour. How long will this take? And then we have a second question. What if the driver wants 75 miles per hour? Ooh, they're breaking the speed limit. Okay, let's take a look. So we know we have 153 miles and 65 miles per hour. Let's take a look at that miles per hour. So it's really 65 miles over 1 hour, or 1 hour over 65 miles. That's your equivalency right here. So here you're given 2 numbers to start with. Start with the one that only has 1 unit. So like miles per hour, that's 2 separate units. It's miles and then hour. Use the 153 miles, and then go ahead and put that over 1. And then go ahead and figure out how much you have here. So we have 65 miles over an hour, or 1 hour over 65. You're trying to get rid of miles here and get over to hours, because we want to say how long it might take, meaning how much time it's going to take. So I'm going to use the second equivalency, 1 hour over 65 miles. And you know what, let's go ahead and get that over in minutes too. So we have 60 minutes over 1 hour. We can cancel out some units in there. Put that into your calculator. You should get about 141 minutes. Alright, so that's that first problem. I'm going to switch colors here for the second problem. How long will this take if the driver wants 75 miles per hour? So we've got that same setup here, but this time let's do 75 miles per hour. So I'm still doing, my speed is right here. And I've got 60 minutes right there over 1 hour. Let's go ahead and cancel units. Oopsies, whoa, this should be miles, not miles per hour. My bad. Alright, cancel out those. So when you put that into your calculator, it's 153 times 60. I skipped over this because it's just 1. Press the equal sign, then divide by 75. That should be about 122 minutes. So let's take a look at this. If you went 10 miles over the speed limit, if I subtracted those, you'd only end up saving 19 minutes. Some people think they can save an hour. Well, on a 2.5-hour drive, you're not saving that much time at all. So it's probably not worth risking a ticket or getting into an accident for that extra 19 minutes. So go the speed limit, kiddos. Alright, so to summarize, use dimensional analysis to convert between the units, and always, always, always include units in your for your labels. Have a good day, darlings.